Hello, everyone. My name is Chrissy Smith, and this is Nine Lives Energy, and together we energize your body from the inside out. Thank you so much for joining me for this 12-part series called Astro Health, where each week we deep dive into each zodiac sign and we talk about the best astrological remedies and health practices for each zodiac sign. So we are going to be talking about Taurus today, and I have saved the best for last. And I just want, before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to Meg Moonbeam. I found this lady at the end of 2022 and started studying astrology under her in 2023, and it really allowed me to understand myself better and get myself back into balance because I was really out of alignment. And she's a Taurus rising, and I have realized I have a lot of Taurus placements in my chart, 4 actually. And by stepping into that part of myself, it has allowed me to love that part of myself more than I do my Aries sun. So I just want to say thank you, Meg Moonbeam, and I hope to do what you're doing one day. I am doing what you are doing now, but I'm going to be stepping it up, hopefully a little bit more. I'm in the infancy stages now. So just wanted to give you a shout out because your knowledge has certainly allowed me to step into what have been called here to do. So we are talking about Taurus this week, and it is a fixed modality. So, if we discussed in previous videos, we have fixed, cardinal, and also mutable. So our fixed signs are a little bit harder to change. And Taurus is an earth sign, so it really doesn't like to change. If we think about the cow and sitting down in the grass, that's really what the Taurus likes to do. But Taurus is about hard work, and Taurus likes to pick projects that maybe it could take a little bit longer to do, and they're really steadfast, but making sure that we learn to go with the flow and that we're not so fixed in our energy would help a Taurus move a lot better. It does govern the second house, which is things of value, our resources, the pleasures of life. And when we think about the pleasures of life, it's food, it's music, it's things that feel good, smell good, right? It's governed by Venus. And so Venus is a feminine planet. And so when we think about Venus, we think about women are from Venus and men are from Mars. But even if you are a man who is a Taurus, you just, not that you have feminine qualities, but you like the finer things in life, right? You like good food, you like good wine, you like to build things. So I love the Taurus part of my chart a whole lot. It is represented by the bull, and sometimes these bulls can be a little bit stubborn and set in their ways because it is fixed energy. Now, when we look at the degrees, you can see that it's governed by the second house. And if we go around this astrological wheel again, 12, 13, 14. 14 would be a magic number for these people. If we go around the wheel again, 26 would be a degree that would be of significance to these people as well. So if you see a receipt that says 222 or 1414, that is your angels talking to you. So make sure, what are your thoughts? Are you having negative thoughts? If so, let's change them to be a more positive. If they're positive thoughts, then that's a little reminder that you are on the right path and to just keep going. Now, here's some more information on this particular zodiac sign. The dates are April 20th to May 20th. And like I said before, it's ruled by Venus. So wherever Venus goes, you need to go. Now, Venus right now is exalted right now in the sky. It's in the sign of Pisces, which is mutable water. And so it's comfort right now. So you probably will be finding yourself sleeping more right now. I am filming this on February 2nd of 2025. And so you might find yourself right now wanting to sleep more, wanting to be in the comforts of home. We can't go outside right now, Taurus, if you are living in the Northern Hemisphere, because, it's cold outside. And so we got to find ways to kind of get more earthbound on the inside. Now, if you have in your birth chart Venus in Aries or Venus in Scorpio, not that that's a bad placement, but if we think about the planetary ruler of Aries and Scorpio, that's Mars. And Venus is the opposite of Mars. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. So not that it is in a bad placement there, but it's not, it's getting a little bit more action, right? It's not going to be able to just sit down and relax and have the comforts of life. It's going to have to take some action in its life. Its fall position is in Virgo, because those are like the details and trying to be organized and in a routine. And Venus just wants to sit there and kind of enjoy the pleasures of life. Uranus right now is in the sign of Taurus. And so we have noticed probably for the last few years, I'm going to say since 2018, there's been some disruptions in our Earth, because Uranus is about disruption. It is about quick energizing movement. And, you know, Taurus doesn't like to move very well. And so some of these planetary alignments right now are causing the Tauruses to try to have to push and change and move a little faster than what they are accustomed to doing or used to doing. And the planet that loves to be in the sign of Taurus is the moon, because the moon is governed by Cancer and the comforts of home, and having the moon in Taurus is exalted. So I have my Venus in Mars, Taurus, in Taurus, and I also have my moon there and 2 other placements. So I've got a lot of Taurus energy in my chart. So there's 3 types of Tauruses in the evolutionary lifespan of a Taurus. The first one is the bull, and that is learning not to rush or to force your will onto other people, because we all have free will, right? And even though Taurus thinks that they have the best solution, other people have, you know, opinions too and ways of doing things. And so during this phase, you could be meeting obstacles where your behavior can't control others. And so this leads the Taurus to go to the next phase, which allows them to look at the darker aspects of themselves and wonder why they are the way that they are. And so at the next stage, the Minotaur, at this stage, you can kind of see that you're alone, and it is because of the things that you have done. And you realize that you have created this own prison around yourself. And you know, how can we change some of the behaviors that we have been accustomed to so that we can evolve and be the more loving Taurus that we know that we can be? And then the last one is the demigod. And this one is where the Taurus is creating a new life for themselves, because they realize that they can't force their will onto other people, and that they need to learn how to go with the flow versus trying to control everything and have this perfect idea of what their life is supposed to be. Now, the body part that Taurus controls, the opposite sign of Taurus, is Scorpio. Scorpio is about releasing things. And if it's the excretory system, Taurus is about eating food. Taurus loves the pleasures of life, right? Music and the things that feel good, and eating. I love to eat. That's my favorite thing to do. So food going in is Taurus, and food going out is Scorpio. It does govern the neck and the ears, the chin. Some people that are Tauruses may have a prominent chin. It does control the teeth. However, when we mentioned earlier for Capricorn, that is the structure of our body, and that also controls the teeth as well. But if we think about food, how can we get that food in our body? We have to chew it up. So that is the teeth. Salivary glands, taste buds, and also vocal cords and the tonsils, excuse me. And then this is the constellation in the sky for Taurus. And you'll be able to see it because there's this little bright star right there, which is the eye of the Taurus. Now, as we mentioned earlier, some different body parts that Taurus governs, it can cause these people to have food addictions, to be obese, overweight, or have gout. Because of planets that I have in this particular zodiac sign, I was an overweight child. And I did have a bad relationship with food for most of my life. And hopefully, you know, that isn't you, but maybe you're moving around a little bit more than I did when I was younger. These people could have sicknesses around the ears, nose, and throat. I do know when I was younger, I had tubes put in my ears because I had infections in there all the time. I used to have sinus issues a lot. Sinus issues are also related to Aries, and I'm an Aries sun. You could have issues related to the throat, always having a sore throat, or that's the first place that you get sick. Having strep throat, having tonsillitis, having to have your tonsils removed, those kind of things. These people could have an increase in mucus. So making sure that we're not eating foods that cause us to have mucus build up in our body, whatever that is. It could be alcohol. It could be eating a lot of milk related products. Those can increase our mucus as well. These people could have chronic fatigue syndrome because they are workhorses. And even though it does govern the sign of relaxing and enjoying the comforts of life, these people oftentimes tend to work a lot. They could have issues around the esophagus. So if Taurus is smoke, they could, possibly have throat cancer or esophageal issues. They could have vocal cord problems, having nodules on their vocal cords from maybe yelling and not speaking properly. I have that problem too. You might see more Tauruses have ear-related issues around not being able to hear or having tinnitus, dental issues, so making sure that we're keeping our teeth in check, alcoholism, and also thyroid issues because that is around the neck region. So some astrological remedies for Taurus: eating slow. A lot of Tauruses probably tend to eat fast because they're like, I don't want anybody to take my food away from me. And I want to have it all the pleasures. So making sure that we're eating slow and enjoying our food, portion control, putting a few chips in a cup and eating that, not sitting down in front of the television and having the bag in our lap. That's not a good astrological remedy for Taurus. And just being mindful of overindulgence. It's easy for Tauruses to overindulge in whatever it is. Overindulge in relaxation, overindulge in food, overindulge in alcohol, overindulge in buying things, okay? It does control our resources, and food is a resource. Money is a resource. Being outside is very healing for these people because it is a fixed earth sign. So these people could get great benefit of hiking, being in the earth, gardening, building projects outside, making sure that they're eating natural food, not synthetic food, real natural food. Where did it come from? It came from the earth. You can see it growing in a tree. You can see it growing out of the ground, or walking on the ground. Not, this synthetic meat that, we've been, positioned to try to take advantage of. I don't want to eat tofu. I'd rather eat a piece of chicken. Drinking water is also great for these people because it helps with the mucus buildup and kind of gets that part moving around. Paying attention to how you treat your teeth. You only get one set, folks, so make sure that you're taking care of those. And I put on here tea versus coffee. Now, if you're a coffee drinker, that's fine, but just watch out how much creamer that you're putting in there or how much sugar that you're putting in the coffee, because that can cause us to have a buildup of mucus. And drinking tea with honey, this is what I drink every day. I tend to feel a lot better in my body when I do that versus trying to start my day out with something that's not good for me and builds up mucus in my body. Putting together outfits. Taurus controls our resources. Clothing is a resource, right? And then just taking time to get ready, because Venus is your planetary ruler. So you think that the world is beautiful and you want to be beautiful in the world. So take time to treat yourself nice and do that self-care and take the time to get ready in the morning. Putting yourself on a budget, Taurus. We like to overindulge, and that's something that I struggle with. So making sure that we are putting back that savings that we need for a rainy day, or budgeting for those items that we would like to purchase in the future. We don't have to put everything on credit because we want it right now. Being able to save for those, and it will allow us to appreciate it more. Going to the chiropractor would be good for these people. People that probably need to go to the chiropractor more often would be not only the Taurus because of the neck, but Libras because of their low back and also Capricorns because it controls the spine. And if we look at the opposite sign of Capricorn, that would be Cancer. So Cancers probably would have an issue, maybe going to the chiropractor and getting things back into alignment, having structure in the home. Also, Leos and Aquariuses would benefit much from going to the chiropractor, but especially around the neck, Taurus, you definitely need to go. Listening to frequency music can help you a whole lot, or even making music. So if you're a DJ and making music, that can help you just enjoy the pleasures of life, right? Music is a pleasure of life. And also smelling essential oils or things that smell good to you, flowers. If you're a man smelling a woman, that would be very healing for you and something that you appreciate as women. Some of the best activities for Taurus would be any type of building project. Taurus, you are the builders, okay? You are the builders of the future. And these could be projects that you build within the house. This could be yourself as a project, or maybe building some project outside, because it allows you to get that energy out, and then you can actually look at something that you've created, and now that's a resource for you. Hiking would be good for these people, rock climbing, doing hand-eye coordination sports. This can help increase the speed because Tauruses kind of move a little slow. So doing things that could help you move just a little bit faster. So any type of sport regarding that. And I did put bodybuilding competitions on there. I have competed in a few of those, but like I said, I didn't have a good relationship with food, and I don't know that I ever had a good relationship with food when I did the bodybuilding competitions. It did allow me to have structure, okay? But if Taurus controls food, I couldn't wait for the competition to be over so I could overindulge in the food. So doing the competitions could be good because it's structure. And Tauruses like to see the long term, all right? To do a competition like that takes a few months. And so Tauruses like projects that take a while to do because they're in it for the long haul, and they have their steadfastness as their resource in order to get the thing done. Restorative yoga could be very beneficial for these people. I've started doing this recently, and I wish I had found it a whole lot sooner. I think that it could have helped me with a lot of issues. Because I tend to move fast, and I need to use my Taurus energy to move slow, not to overindulge in buying things or overeating, that kind of thing. Some essential oils that would be good for Tauruses. I think lavender is good for everybody, but it's going to be especially good for Tauruses because it helps with calm and it helps with balance. Rose would be good for these people because it helps with stress and relaxation. Ylang ylang, I like to put ylang ylang and lavender and frankincense together. That's my go-to, and I mix it with lotions and I put it on my body. Sage is really good for these people because it helps balance emotions and helps with mental clarity. Lemon is good because, as we mentioned earlier, these people could suffer from chronic fatigue syndrome because they work too much. So this can help them retain information. It could also help them focus better. And then frankincense is very good for Taurus. I think that's my favorite one because it helps them ground, and it's really good for their skin as well. So you want to take good care of your skin, Taurus, and doing things that are self-care, such as, getting a haircut, making sure that we're putting lotion on our body, how we're treating ourselves, what food that we're eating. Your body is the temple, and you need to make sure that we're treating it like that, not treating it like it's a haunted house. Some good crystals for these people. Emerald is your birthstone. And when I think about Taurus, I think about the cow, and think about the cow grazing in the green pasture. So being outside in nature and looking at the color green would be good for you. Carnelian, this is a carnelian stone right here. I love this stone. I think this is good for a lot of zodiac signs. And the reason that I say that is because it helps with creativity and it helps getting that fire. Rose quartz is a good one. And this one is good for forgiveness and compassion. Tauruses tend to be a little too hard on themselves because they want to be perfect. And when people don't think that they're perfect or they can't control everything, that would be good to maybe, you know, help forgive themselves. And then this is citrine. This is good for abundance and prosperity. So we can see citrine down here. I love natural stones a little bit more than polished stones. And so that's a picture of a more natural stone. Rutilated quartz. This is rutilated quartz. So a quartz is a clear stone, and sometimes you can see black lines through it or gold lines. So gold rutilated quartz would be good for these people to help with self-control, especially when we might want to control other people. And it also can help us do some of the or work with some of the energies that Taurus is known for, which is their determination and being able to say, I'm going to do something and follow it through to the end. Lapis lazuli was very good for Tauruses. It's right here. And you can, this is different because you can see the lapis lazuli. It'll have like little gold flecks in it. But what I was going to say with that, I guess I need to get some lapis lazuli since I'm having trouble communicating right now. But it would be good to have a piece of that stone right here on your throat, because it can help you with communication, and it can also help with the throat chakra since Taurus controls the neck. And this one up here is jade, and this one is good for just being in balance, being in harmony, and for prosperity. Some foods that Tauruses need to be mindful of are things that are not going to increase the mucus in their body, and things that are going to be good for their ears, nose, and throat. Some vegetables that help with those are broccoli, green leafy vegetables, Brussels sprouts, and carrots. Some fruits that help with this is citrus and bananas. Proteins and fats. A lot of Tauruses like to eat, you know, meat, and that's fine. If that doesn't agree with you, you know, eating a cow, you know, try to eat things like salmon and eggs. That would be good for you too, which would help with not getting mucus buildup in the body. Almonds, eggs, and yogurt could help with that as well. And as I mentioned earlier, drinking more tea instead of drinking coffee would be better for you, unless you drink coffee black. But adding turmeric to foods would help, or to your water would help. Adding garlic, ginger, cayenne pepper, and taking shots of apple cider vinegar. Now, I did point these things out to the Geminis last week, but it's also good for Tauruses as well. This is a detox recipe down here at the bottom, so you can take a screenshot of this information here so that you can maybe put some of this in your refrigerator and pour some in a glass every so often, and try to drink that as needed throughout the day. That could also help you with your digestive system. It could also help you increase your immunity as well, especially if we're eating things that could cause us to have a mucus buildup. This could kind of help offset that just a little bit. And a famous Taurus is Janet Jackson. So if we look at this zodiac chart right here, the dark line is an ascendant. This is what was coming up over the horizon when she was born. This is the top of the sky. This is where the sun was setting. And then this is the bottom of the chart, her home. So over here, I like to see her sun here because it's in the 7th house. She also has her north node here and her Mars together. And 7th house is Libra. So that is your sister sign, Taurus, because Libra is also controlled by Venus. So this tells me that this person, their north node, who they aspired to be, was somebody that probably did something that was very Venusian. So very Venusian would be something to do with music. She also has Neptune here on her 1st house of who she is in this lifetime. And Neptune also controls music. And our south node is where we come from, which is this upside down U. So she came in here with these gifts. And then in this life, she is trying to be more assertive in being able to share her gifts with the world. And I love this for her. And having the Taurus placements that she does, and having this in the 7th house, let's see where her Venus is. So her Venus is in the 5th house, along with her moon. And so maybe she did have some issues around food, maybe up and down with what her weight was, because the fifth house is how we entertain ourselves. So maybe she entertained herself by eating food, and maybe she did it from an emotional place. You can see that the moon is our emotions and Venus is food and the pleasures of life. Astrology does not lie. All right. So if you would like to have a personal appointment, this is my information here. And if you got something out of this video, make sure that you like, comment, and share. It does help with the algorithm and helps to get that information out there to those who need it most. So make sure that you share this with your favorite Taurus. And we are finished with our Astro Health schedule. And I might go back through this series and do this again, because I have seen how the progression of where I started is not how I finished. And some of the things that I shared in the beginning, I didn't share here at the end. And some things I shared at the end are not some things that I shared at the beginning. But I'm very glad to have taken this personal project all the way from November till now. And we will see what happens next with my astrological journey and what I'm supposed to be doing in this lifetime. So again, shout out to Meg Moonbeam. I really appreciate you. And I want to give a shout out to your friend Sunny as well, because she was the one who said that I need to be putting myself out there just a little bit different, and that she could see me doing like workout videos and talking about astrology. But I decided to go about it this way and discussing the iotrope mathematics in what each zodiac sign represents within our health. Again, if you got something out of this, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, because every time you do, another person gets healthier. My name is Chrissy Smith. This is Nine Lives Energy, and together we energize your body from the inside out. Thank you so much, and have a magical rest of your day.